Alright, so today we are going to discuss lesson 1.3, solving equations. Alright, so before you used properties of real numbers to evaluate expressions. Today we are going to translate verbal expressions into algebraic expressions and equations and vice versa. And also we are going to solve equations using the properties of equality. Alright, so vocabulary, so open sentence, equation, solution. Alright, let's start with the first example. Write an algebraic expression to represent the verbal expression 7 less than a number. So a number can be any letter of the alphabet. So that would be n minus 7, or you can also use x minus 7. So less than means minus. Alright, next example. Write an algebraic expression to represent the verbal expression. Let's highlight that one. The square of a number decreased by the product of 5 and the number. So the square, that means we're going to use exponents here. And then for the number, we're going to use x. So we can convert it into x squared minus 5x. The square of a number decreased by the product of 5 and the number. Alright, another example. 2 less than the cube of a number. So 2 less than the cube of a number. Cube means 3. So our best answer here is going to be x to the third minus 2. Alright, so this time we're going to do the other way around. So you're given the numbers and symbols. We're going to convert this into words. So that's going to be 6 is equal to negative 5 plus a number. Another example, 7y minus 2 equals 19. Convert this into words. So our answer is going to be 7 times a number minus 2 is 19. Alright, let's move on to the properties of equality. There are 4 of them. So first is reflexive. For any real number a equals a. So just remember, when you look at the mirror, what can you see? It's going to be your own reflection. So that's the first property of equality, reflexive. Second, symmetric. So this time, if a equals b, then b equals a. So all you need to do is switch their places. And there's going to be the same. Third one is transitive. In this property, you have 3 variables involved. So if a equals b and b equals c, then the first variable a equals the third variable c. And then the last one is substitution. If a equals b, so you can substitute a and b. You can replace a by b, or you can replace b by a. So those are the properties of equality. So we're going to use this in solving equations. Alright, let's start. The first example, what property is illustrated? So you have noticed that they're exactly the same. The left expression, a minus 2.03, is exactly the same as the one on the right. So that's going to be reflexive. Alright, if 9 equals x, then x equals 9. So what have you noticed? We just switched their places. So that's symmetric. Alright, how about this one? This time we have 3 equations here. If 3 equals x and x equals y, then the number 3 equals the variable y. So there are 3 equations, 3 variables, including number 3. So that's going to be transitive. Okay? Alright, so this time let's move on to the 4 properties of equality. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So here, if a equals b, so anything added to a equals, if you're going to add the same number to b, the equation stays the same. The same thing with subtraction. If you're going to subtract C from A, that's equal to subtracting C from B. So that's addition and subtraction. Same thing with multiplication. If A equals B, provided C is not equal to 0, and the thing if you multiply A by C, you will also get the same product when you multiply C by B. Or dividing A and B by the same variable C, you will get the same result. So those are the 4 properties. Let's apply them. Okay, let's start with the basic one-step equation. Solve for M. If M minus 5.48 equals 0.02, check your solution. So here, we will only move this number to the right side, and that's it. So opposite of negative, it will be positive. So we'll be adding 5.48 both sides. And you will get your answer. M equals 5.5. Then make sure you check your answer. So plug in to the original equation. M equals 5.5. Does it give you the same answer with 0.02? And it is true. So your final answer, the solution to the equation is 5.5. Alright, another example. 18 equals 1/2 times t. So you need to leave t by itself. So you need to move 1/2 to the other side. So there are 2 ways of doing this. Either you multiply both sides by 2, and that's the value of t, or multiply by the inverse of 1/2, which is 2/1. So it looks like this. Multiply 2/1 times 18, you will get 36 1/2. It will cancel out with 2/1, so your answer is 36. Alright, try this one. 2/3 x equals 10. Solve for x. So again, you can follow 2 methods here, 2 ways. You can multiply by 3 first to get rid of the 3 in the denominator, and then divide by 2 later on, or just multiply both sides by the inverse of 2/3, which is 3/2. So what do you want to use? So I'm going to multiply this by 3 first. So that will give you 2/3x equals 10. And then I'll multiply that by 3. Alright, so this cancel out your 3. So that will give you 2x equals 30. And then last step, divide both sides by 2. So that gives you x equals 50. Alright, let's have another equation. Solve 53 equals 3 times the quantity y minus 2, close parentheses, minus 2 times 3y minus 1. Alright, so what we're going to do here, we're going to distribute your 3 to each variable and number inside the parentheses. And then after that, we're going to simplify. Alright. So distribute 3 to each one, distribute -2 to each one, and then find the product. Alright, so we have 3y minus 6 minus 6y plus 2. And then after that, you can combine like terms. 3y minus 6y, and then combine also -6 plus 2. So you will get -3y minus 4. Alright, so next step, you're going to add 4 both sides, so that 4 will combine with 53. And then bring it down. So you will get 57 equals -3y. And then divide both sides by -3. So your final answer is going to be y equals negative 19. Okay? Alright, let's move on to the next. Alright, try this one, guys. 25 equals 3 times 2x plus 2, close parentheses, minus 5 times 2x plus 1. So, follow the steps. Distribute, then combine like terms. So, distribute that. So, that gives you 6x. Distribute 2, that will give you 6. Bring down the minus sign, 5 times 2, that gives you 10x. And then do the same thing, multiply. Negative 5 times 1, that gives you negative 5. Okay? Alright, so that's our first step. We multiply the number outside the parentheses. Now we're going to combine them. So bring down 25. Then we're going to combine all our variables. 6x minus 10x, that gives you negative 4x. Then we're going to combine our whole the numbers, the integers. 6 minus 5, that gives you 1. Alright, so 2 more steps. 1, subtract 1 both sides. So that will give me 24 equals negative 4x. And then divide negative 4 both sides. So our final answer is going to be x equals negative 6. Alright. Okay, so I think this is going to be our last problem. Let's have the word problem. This time we are solving for a variable. Okay, given the formula, the perimeter of the rectangle, P equals 2L plus 2W, we're going to solve for W. We're going to leave W by itself. So, starting with the formula, looks like we're going to do this together, guys. So, P equals 2L plus 2W. So, leave W by itself. Okay? Alright. So, what are you going to do first? There are many ways of doing this. You can divide both sides by 2 to get rid of the 2. So that will give you P is equal to, P over 2 is equal to L plus W, since this 2 will cancel out. Okay, and then subtract L both sides because we are leaving W by itself. P over 2 minus L, and then bring down our W. Right, let's take a look. So W equals P over 2 minus L. Alright, so I think that's the end of the lesson. For more practice problems, please do your assigned homework from the book. Alright, thank you guys.